conflict. The Bears were broken. The Patriots were broken. The Broncos were broken. The Chargers were broken. And they brought in coaches that had only really one thing in common. They'll get in your face. They don't avoid conflict. Mike Vrabel came into a broken franchise. I know Gerard Mayo was only there for a year. It was a mess. And the media loves fluff pieces on nice guys. I know Mike. He got mad at me once on text because that's who Mike is, and he never holds grudges. But I remember when Mike McDaniel got that Dolphin job. He's a nice guy, and he's fun, and he's quirky, and I kept asking the question, is he going to stand in a room of 55 alphas and kind of intimidate them? And they're worried about keeping their job or a DNP. And 2 years after he took the job, you saw a bunch of stories leaking. Doesn't command the respect of the room. Players are working him. So just a reminder, Bill Walsh, Jimmy Johnson, and Bill Belichick, they demanded excellence. They didn't request it. It was demanded. And there were two organizations this year, to me, that totally felt broken. The Bears, Ben Johnson got hired, and the Patriots, Mike Vrabel got hired. Offensive guy, defensive guy. And Bears fans are funny in Chicago. They come up to me all the time. You're so hard on Caleb Williams. And I always say, Ben Johnson's harder. Stop seeking comfort. You finally got a quarterback. Don't lecture people on how to handle them. Bill Belichick was on Tom Brady's butt 20 years in, demanding excellence. Ooh, Caleb Williams improved. So what? Is he playing in this game? Drake May is. Sam Darnold is. There is no, I arrived at quarterback. Go ask Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Every season's a new season. Football is hard, it is violent, and it is precise. And there is a requisite level of intensity and conflict that is absolutely necessary. Mike McDaniel's a good guy. Mike Vrabel jumped into the middle of fights during training camp. I mean, you watch those old Jimmy Johnson clips and Bill Walsh clips. I watched an unbelievable documentary on Netflix last week. Miracle, the Boys of 80. It's on Lake Placid on Herb Brooks. Rest in peace. Herb Brooks scared players. Nobody said, nice guy. Even his kids acknowledged he was tough. He was demanding. He didn't sleep well. And Herb Brooks achieved something that an average coach wouldn't.
Absolutely. It's a truly compelling topic. First, I find it somewhat amusing because this aligns precisely with the perspective I often present to, say, Chicago Bears enthusiasts. They frequently offer resistance whenever any critique is leveled, and my response is typically, I assure you, Ben Johnson is addressing this very issue at this moment in a meeting, likely in a one-on-one session with Caleb Williams. Essentially, I'm merely echoing the discourse their own coach is undoubtedly having. So the question becomes, why direct frustration toward me? That parallel is rather humorous. I also wish to delve into the concept of intensity, though it encompasses more than that singular element. It extends beyond mere intensity or conflict. I had a personal coach who instilled a genuine sense of trepidation in both me and my team. Under his guidance, I experienced my most substantial growth and development. However, paradoxically, he did not elicit my peak performance on game days. I found myself unable to perform optimally within an atmosphere that felt oppressive and constrictive. This underscores a critical distinction: understanding how to embody intensity, how to introduce healthy conflict, while simultaneously maintaining a foundation of support. This equilibrium is where many coaches falter. I would contend that a coach like, for instance, Robert Saleh possesses this balance. He comprehends how to be demanding yet supportive. The inherent peril lies in exhibiting intensity without the concomitant support structure. The instant winning ceases. A coach operating on pure intensity loses the locker room with alarming rapidity. Everything unravels. When victories are absent and achievements are lacking, and the supportive element is missing, players are subjected to unrelenting pressure without any compensatory reward or encouragement. That constitutes an exceedingly difficult environment. This is fundamental psychology. Psychology 101. Consider children raised by exceedingly strict, militant parents. This approach does not typically cultivate disciplined, organized, well-adjusted individuals, adept at handling life's adversities. More often than not, it leads to fracture, not fortitude. Thus, balance is non-negotiable. As with most things, it requires a synthesis of both elements, not an extreme tilt toward one side. This principle is profoundly important. A coach like Saleh, in my estimation, embodies this synthesis, whereas other coaches, I'll refrain from naming specifics, frequently lack that equilibrium. Therefore, the core issue transcends mere conflict, intensity, or displaying alpha traits. It fundamentally concerns demanding accountability. It's remarkably ironic how this theme persistently resurfaces. I inadvertently initiated a discussion on accountability once and faced considerable pushback. Yet now I observe endless illustrations of coaches whose foundational principle is precisely that: accountability. It's not solely about conflict or intensity. It's about acknowledging the unvarnished reality of a situation and confronting it directly. Coaching, playing, and personal growth mirror life itself. Consider a romantic relationship dissolution. In the aftermath, you attempt to discern the causes. You can simplistically assign all blame to the other person, or you can engage in the more difficult yet crucial task of facing reality. Perhaps the majority of responsibility was yours, or it was a shared dynamic. If it's shared, you must parse that out. It's vital to conclude, yes, I could have been a better partner, but I'm also human. I wasn't monstrous, or her expectations were unrealistic. Regardless, confronting that reality and comprehending it is essential. Without this step, growth and evolution are impossible, leading to the repetition of identical mistakes. Many coaches, like many people generally, avoid inhabiting that space of uncomfortable truth. Responsibility is perpetually externalized. One of the most valuable functions a coach can serve is to literally guide a player in facing reality, all while providing support. It's the ability to state, "You are the reason we lost that game. Your performance was insufficient. However, let me be unequivocal. You are a great and special player. This was an off day. It happens to everyone. It's regrettable it occurred today. My commitment is to do everything in my power to ensure a moment like this never recurs. So, let's get to work." That confluence of honesty and belief is powerful and impactful. Naturally, not every coach is prepared to operate this way, and not every player is prepared to receive it. Yet, I firmly believe that confronting reality, particularly within a coaching context, is invaluable. I personally grasped this concept only a few years ago. Being coached, especially by high-caliber coaches, exposes you to a stratum of criticism, reality checking, and intensity seldom encountered elsewhere in life. Perhaps you receive it from parents or siblings, but the educational system rarely provides it to this degree. Certainly, teachers correct errors, but the nature of accountability differs markedly. In a high school setting, if you earn a B, a teacher is unlikely to engage deeply, insisting, "You are capable of an A." Some exceptional teachers might, but generally, a B is accepted as your standard. Even a C might be met with, "Well, you're a C student," as an identifier. Ironically, the educator who imparted one of my most significant life lessons was himself a coach, a former elite athlete whose career was curtailed by injury. He summoned me from class in 9th grade, confronted me against a locker, and demanded, "Who do you think you are? What are you doing?" I was bewildered. He clarified, "You are far too intelligent for this foolish behavior." I was acting out for comedic effect, and he recognized my capability exceeded my output. He compelled me to face reality. He held me accountable. He didn't extend this intervention to every student. For many, their presented self was accepted. For me, he challenged, "What are you doing?" This encapsulates the coaching mandate. If a player operates at a B level, the coach's responsibility is to elevate them to an A. The coach's role is to maximize potential. This is not inherently the primary objective of a teacher or parent, or at least not executed with the same focus. This dynamic explains the common refrain told to young athletes. If a coach is yelling at you, it's because he sees potential for greatness. You should be more concerned if he ignores you, as that implies he doesn't believe you're worth the effort. As a child, you dismiss this, thinking, "I just wish he'd get off my back." Yet there's profound truth in it. I observe this principle in interactions with my young niece and nephew. If I perceive latent ability and room for improvement, my engagement intensifies. That was good, but let's try it this way. Conversely, if a child demonstrates no aptitude or interest in an activity, the energy shifts. It becomes, that's okay, bud. Want to try something else? Let's talk about a movie or Mickey Mouse. You naturally redirect. At the NFL level, redirection isn't an option, but the underlying principle remains. Understanding how to maximize talent, how to motivate, and how to support simultaneously. It is a holistic undertaking. The commentator's analysis effectively spotlights one crucial pillar, one specific aspect. However, multiple pillars support this structure, and we must not lose sight of that comprehensive view. This multifaceted approach is what cultivates genuine culture, a culture where players desire to be present, aspire to remain, and are willing to sacrifice everything, not out of fear, but from a place of belief and, as unconventional as it may sound, love. That constitutes the deeper, more resilient culture, the ultimate objective for any organization aiming to build something enduring. But those are merely my perspectives. I am absolutely eager to hear yours. What are all of your thoughts on the New England Patriots under their current leadership and the culture they are constructing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. So whether you concur with my analysis or disagree entirely, let's engage in some discussions. Let's have some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's simply enjoy the conversation. Please consider subscribing. We are building a fantastic community here and would absolutely love for you to be a part of it. My goal is to foster something we all feel genuinely connected to, something we are excited to participate in. I believe we are well on our path to achieving that. Also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely assists with visibility and the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much. See you next time.